Hey everyone, I'm back again, and today I wanted to share this message with you guys all around patterns, because at the end of the day, none of us are actually living our own lives. We're actually running our patterns everywhere we go. So everywhere we go, every person that we're dealing with, we're actually in relationship with our patterns, not another person. And I think this is a really, really good one for you guys to kind of get some consciousness around, because you want to know, you want to know who you're dealing with, and you're never going to know who that is unless you realize that you yourself are running patterns over and over and over again. And sometimes it takes, being around different people, getting into relationships with different people, going into different businesses and dealing with different people there, or your own personal development, to actually realize, what the similarities are in all of your connections. So who are the people that you keep attracting? What are the dynamics that you keep experiencing? And what you'll see is, at some point, you'll realize that you're the common denominator for all of those dynamics at play. And as you grow and shift and change and evolve, so too do the dynamics that you enter in all of your connections. And I think it's really, really important, because most of us are going throughout our lives thinking, oh, I like that person, I don't like that person, I want to get to know that person, I want nothing to do with that person. And what we're really doing when we're not conscious is we are just letting our patterns of behavior and states of being dictate and determine who we perceive other people to be, and the kind of dynamics that we feel comfortable in and the ones that we reject. And when we run that pattern of the patterns, right, we never actually get to experience who another person is, and we never actually get to be actually in relationship with a person. From me to you, it's actually my patterns versus your patterns. And this is why I've been talking a lot recently about neediness, right? Because what our patterns are here to do, we're trying to get something from our external world, right? We think we've got a need that somebody in our external world can fulfill on our behalf, and that's why we run these certain patterns in order to get these needs or these voids filled. And what happens is we end up just running that. We end up attracting people who we perceive can fulfill our voids and continue to not have to change and run our same old patterns, and they're attracted to us for the same reasons. And at the end of the day, that whole dynamic, we can almost get to a point where we can see the future of where it's going. We've been here before, and it's at that point, and you want to reflect throughout your life and look at your patterns and the dynamics that have constantly been reoccurring in your relationships. Maybe you've had somebody who you've been in relationship with for a long time. Look at the patterns that you guys play out. Look at the dynamic of your relationship, and instead of blaming them for the way things are, or equating it to them and the way that they are, you've got to take ownership and responsibility over your contribution to the dynamic at play. And this can happen any area of life. You guys know I love talking all things relationships, and because I think that it can, our intimate relationship can kind of magnify all of our patterns. It's your greatest vehicle for growth and understanding of yourself. It's also the greatest pathway for a lot of people to lose who they are and lose their identity. There's a lot of juice, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of greatness, all sorts of things that get magnified in our intimate relationship in particular. And that's why it's a really great place that I always use as an example to look for your patterns. And once you start to see over time that, okay, maybe my friendships tend to keep breaking down for the same old reason. For me personally, my friendships were always breaking down because eventually I got to a point where I realized that friend wouldn't do for me what I would do for them, right? And so instead of me going and chopping and changing to the next friendship and going and repeating that same old pattern and dynamic, I had to eventually get to a point where I had to own and take 100% responsibility, for the pattern and the dynamic that I was personally creating and attracting, right? Because I was somebody who was okay with over-giving, being overly accommodative, so that I could be liked in those friendship circles. And then I was complexed by the fact that it'd get to a point where, I knew that person wasn't going to do for me what I'd do for them. And that's me to blame, right? In that dynamic, because that's my pattern. I am allowing that dynamic to be at play. And in fact, I'm attracting people who like that dynamic to play out. And they've got similar patterns that fit perfectly with mine, right? And the same thing is happening in all of the things that you experience in your life. You start to notice the patterns that you have around your finances, right? Are you somebody who, you just never have enough money? Or are you somebody who's got lots of cash in reserve, but you're always fearful of, missing out or losing out or whatever it is? You've got to start to notice, what are your patterns over time? What are creating challenges in your life? And when you start to look at that and take 100% responsibility for it, knowing that it's you operating your life and creating the experiences, it's not the world's circumstances that are dictating your experience of life. They are going to influence it, but it's what you do, and it's the patterns that you run, and it's the patterns that you own, so that you can be free of through awareness and transformation. So I'm hoping that this message resonates with you guys, and it just gets you thinking about taking 100% responsibility for how you show up in life. And when you get complexed in, whatever realm it is, where you just think, why does this just keep happening to me? Why is it that this is just always the way in relationship, in business, in finances, in my family dynamics, whatever it is, and start to get to know that you are at the core of everything that you experience. They are your patterns. So look deeply, look beyond the surface level connections that you're having, and actually go really deep and take full responsibility. Go deep within, rather than surface level try and change the external circumstance without actually taking on board the growth and the work and the awareness that you personally need in order to shift dynamics and create different experiences and different results in your life. So hoping that this is resonating with you guys. I definitely want to check in with you guys, see who's been able to join me. So drop me a comment, say hi, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. And I definitely want to check in with you guys. So who have I got? I've got Judy and Thomas. Hello to you, my friend. And Naeem, good morning to you. Or good afternoon here where I am in beautiful Noosa. And Jessica's here, and Fareen, and Drew, and Jimmy, and Naeem. It's time for the walk hour. I love it. I hope that, I'm guessing that you're going on a walk while you're listening to this, so that's awesome. And Jerry, hi Vanessa, salute to you, and all happy weekend to you, all from wonderful Quebec City, Canada. Always great to see you, Jerry, and hope you're doing amazingly well. Thanks for checking in. And Kate's here as well. And Jimmy, thanks for that beautiful. You are so welcome. Grateful to have you join live. And Kevin, hello to you, my friend. And Jerry, you're absolutely right with everything starting from within us. We have to be conscious of ourselves and assume our reality. Thanks for another awesome live. You're so welcome, Jerry. And I love that this one was resonating with you. And absolutely, I hope that what you do take from these messages that I provide for you guys each day, my hope is that they help you to do the best, most empowering thing you can ever hope to do in your life, which is to take full responsibility for your experience in life. No matter what crazy dynamics are at play, what's going on, make sure that you realize that you are always at choice point. You stand at the very core of your experience of life. So if you're not happy with what you're experiencing, know that the answer doesn't lie externally, it actually lies internally, and taking 100% responsibility for how you show up and how you experience that. Okay, so Hoping this resonates, and as always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has definitely served you. Thanks so much for all of you guys who could join live. Really appreciate you guys jumping on randomly whenever I'm doing these things, and hope this one has hit home for you and definitely served you. I'm signing off. I'm sending you guys all of my love, and I'll see you tomorrow.